For the top-up show, Randwick, the best meeting I've ever been to in my entire life. I hope it is anyway. G'day. Thanks for joining us, Paul Daly. Very kind from Rating Swin. G'day, Marcus.
Yes, Paul, you've been to a lot of Randwick meetings once upon a time. How does this look?
As a meeting? Yeah, I think it's a good meeting. Most of my betting opportunities will be earlier in the day.
Okay. Well, let's get cracking at the state of play. Obviously, it's a good-looking day with light winds. Track, we presume, will be slow and running line. Is that what we're looking for?
Yeah, I think I prefer to be off the fence in the straight, but there is new grass there, so...
New grass? Wasn't the rail actually true on
I can't
Randwick Guinea's Day? Come on.
But I think it's relatively new grass because we've had, that resting period. So all I'm saying is that earlier races might be okay there, but as the day progresses, I think you'll want to be off the inside.
All right, we kick off with a two-year-old race where there's not much action as far as betting is concerned. The protagonists appear...
Already a blow-up over here. Gosh, I love how people get cranky at the races.
They haven't lost any money yet.
Look, he's blowing up. He's had a gutful too, the old mate.
Fantastic. All right.
Good on him.
Call security.
Anyway, here we are at the races.
Yeah, Glenn, have you got any fresh insight on this two-year-old, or Gord was keen on the blue bracket?
I think the blue bracket is in a bad position. I think they're drawn to both get beat.
Yeah. So, Paul,
the more I think about it, the more I think that, and Bivouac looks particularly tired to me.
Okay. What did you think about my thought yesterday on Stronger, that it might be a...
I think it maps particularly well. Yeah. I think it's like a bet at $15, but I don't think it can win.
And not faint-hearted, I think you were a little bit keen on it.
Still pretty keen there. They've got that horse each way, guys.
Paul, have you got a play, or you're getting into this?
Yeah, I think Etheria is probably my preferred choice, despite all those arguments that you've presented, and they're warranted.
Half the price of the other. I mean, you're not saying much there.
Well, I'm just saying that I think Bivouac's probably under the odds, even though it's second pick, and I think the favourite, sort of around that price, is not too far off being a bet.
Okay, well, both Glenn and I are forecasting it to get longer, so...
It probably will get longer.
All right. Race 2, now here's the mover of the day. Dealmaker is into 11 to 8, or $2.40. It's the...
Wasn't it $3.50 yesterday morning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Paul, are you part of that, or do you want to be part of that, or...
I'd like to be part of the 350, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've got Dealmaker on top. Clearly to beat Ring a Ding Ding, I think it'll be suited back in distance, the blinkers go back on, and it was in the worst ground the other day, just didn't handle the wet track at the 2000, so... Look,
Ring a Ding Ding was $1,500 last time, wasn't it?
No, you're talking about
Dealmaker.
Yeah,
okay, I apologize.
Sorry. So Ring a Ding Ding, I think should be longer than the current price, and look, it's a bit yucky when you feel like you've got these two horses so far clear of the rest on recent...
Well, the rest are Canterbury Wednesday, Paul, aren't they?
Well, maybe the August is the only thing that...
Maybe Rainy Saturday else, but then the others are young horses.
It's a funny race, isn't it? We've got these two class horses doing nothing.
Stable mates, doing nothing.
Yeah.
One's $3.50 to $2.20, and the original $2.20 chances out the gate. And, punting out.
Fascinating race, but at the same time, really hard to come to grips with.
It's easy to be uncomfortable.
If you look at Brainier's recent form, I'd mark it 400s.
Okay, $2.40.
Not his recent form,
I could say make the same comment about Ring a Ding Ding.
$2.40 Dealmaker. Can you be a part of that or
nope.
not?
Oh, look, I think I'd like to get better, and I think it might push out a bit.
Paul, you always want better.
I think that's reasonable, isn't it? Don't we all?
I know, but...
All right, moving right along. People don't want to sit here for half an hour watching this show.
It was good music.
2,000 metres. Adrian Knox earlier in the card than usual. Princess Jenny, the mover here, into $6. Amangiri remains pronounced favourite. Glenn, have you got any clarity on this?
Look, Mark, I think the favourite's too short. I've watched the tapes overnight, and Princess Jenny circumnavigated at Moonee Valley, but all horses that circumnavigate at Moonee Valley get into the money, and then they come here and they do nothing. So, don't really understand what the money is about it.
Were you tipping Romney Girl yesterday?
I was a little bit, and down the right part of the track at Kemlin and finished the tapes, left me a bit cold last night, and pressure interests me a little bit there, but,
All right.
Gosh, hard race.
Opaque. Paul, have you got clarity here?
Look, I think there's not too much wrong with what the current market suggests, really. I mean, the favourites, I think, is the one to beat, but 260 is pretty much rock bottom. Princess Jenny, I've got a bit longer than the market, and Pressure, the horse that Glenn mentioned, has got a sticky draw and may end up going right back, but it's not hopeless.
The maps have it going forward with the favourite.
Yeah.
Okay. What does your map say?
I thought it might go back, but it's got the capability of pushing forward. I just didn't think that was the best setup for it. But
all right. So another race where watch. Would you be prepared to play the favourite at $3 or not?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. The Country Championship, Benelong Dancer is into 850. She's the mover in the race. Naval Boy remains pronounced favourite, and La Scopa has got firm hold on second pick. Paul, any interest in this race for you? You know, you've obviously got numbers on every horse, but do you want to actually put them together?
No, I don't. I don't really want to bet. All I can say is I think Noble Boy is really short.
Glenn?
2 winning hopes, 1 from 2. I agree with Gord. Finishing him up last night.
That's Noble Boy from Unbiased. Cody Morgan, of course, is...
We always cheer Cody at the show, and I think you'll find to go very well for $15 chance.
All right. The Group 2 Chairman's and Supernova has tightened overnight into $3.30. Paul, is it, or how do you see this favourite in this race?
Look, I like Supernova as a horse. I just wish I could get it as short as it is, and I can't.
Yes, you'd like to back it.
I'd like to back it.
Everyone else likes to back it.
Yeah, I know. I'm probably more like, I'd be wanting like 5 to 1 or something, I think. But
can't possibly be a bet at 320.
No, I can't. I backed Self Sense early.
There's the first screaming kid of the day
in the earlier markets. I've sort of won at about 20 to 1.
Who?
So
Self Sense.
Self Sense, yeah.
It won't be 20, so will it?
No, it's already firm.
It's already firm.
Yeah. Some guys beating up all the price.
Oh,
someone arseholes.
Did he have a spotty shirt on?
I don't know what sort of shirt he was wearing then. It might have been a few days ago. Glenn, anything you want to say about this race?
Passing, mate. Passing. I think both favourites can get beat. It and Shirai. I can't find the winner.
The sires, pretty much as you were, Love and Gabby and Microphone head the market from Bellevue Hill, and Kiamichi. Paul, play race for you?
Oh, no, probably not. I really hate this race because Kiamichi's coming off that Rosehill heavy track form and, you know, consecutive runs there, and it doesn't get control here, I don't think. And
well, it's a millions, doesn't it?
Look, at $11 early, I think it was probably a fair price, but
$6.50.
You want to try to find a slip of form here, but really, maybe Loving Gabby. But
all right, you're ambivalent about the race. We can't get a tip out of you.
No, I can't. I really don't.
Microphone will win, mate.
There's 4 or 5 hopes.
Glenn's been keen on Microphone all along. I must say that super players get us go well here, but at the same time, Rosehill form doesn't fit Randwick very well. This is the problem with this day of the carnival.
Be a bit wary there about Tenley. It did come out in the slipper and run 15th, but if you watch the tapes, James McDonald on the bend was 400 metres away, 400 metres from the winning post, and he went, wow, I can't possibly win this race, and he just steered it home. It was the softest slipper trial going. So don't worry about the beaten 14 lengths. I think if he really let go and got stuck in, it would have been in an average position, would have got beaten 4.5 lengths.
You might talk me into this.
Jeez, he did the right thing by the horse.
Yeah. Okay, had his eye on the future.
Yes, I was doing the form. I gave it none. I said, "Oh, you're gone. You do the tapes overnight. You know you got to do all your tapes. Get your magnifying glass out and drive yourself more cuckoo." And then don't go Friday nights.
Speaking of cuckoo, the Derby, Madison County, who is perceived by many to be a miler rather than a mile and a halfer, is the firmer in the race. Paul, can you play this Derby?
Look, the horses I've come back to, Arrogant, Angel of Truth and Chapata. They're the 3. So,
all right, 3 from you, Glenn.
Chapata, I like Chapata, Mark.
There's a strong case building for Chapata, isn't there? The TJ Smith, nothing doing here. Touch of money for Sunlight.
Best betting race of the day, I think. Only 3 ups.
Okay, speak.
Trapeze Artist on top. Santa Ana Lane second pick and Shoals third, and there's not another winning number on form and map with me.
Paul?
Look, I've specced one on Trust here, Vega Magic. Took $23 yesterday.
Interesting resuming in this race, and might I just butt in before you go on? Glenn, did you notice the stall around the corner there?
No.
The one you walked past, selling the merchandise?
What was it?
Everest. Ding! They're selling Everest merchandise on day 1 of the championships.
Well, I put out a Christmas decoration sale, aren't they? Everest in the supermarkets.
All right, Vega Magic, Paul, interestingly has very, very good fresh up form, doesn't
it? Does.
And also he's drawn Well, he's had a poor map in both of his Everest runs.
Yeah, and look, I backed him in that first Everest, and I think that Craig Williams erred that day, and probably Horse should have won. But look, I prefer if it was able to get control, but that's the sticky point. And look, it's a big price, and I think it's worth speaking. I like the horses that Glenn's mentioned, obviously Trapeze Artist and Osborne Bulls I think is short, Pierrata I think is a bit short, Santa Ana Lane's a bit short. So I'm probably just going to work around Trapeze Artist and Vega Magic.
Very good. The feature.
What's the other race we have? The Mount Kosciuszko. Is that the Kosciuszko race? Yes.
Yes. That's for the country horses.
All right. So, what about for Hawkesbury trained out? Well, we have the Mount Druitt. It just gets worse and worse, this Everest. It's driving me mad now.
Yeah. Race 9 is the feature of the year. As far as I'm concerned, the Doncaster is the greatest race in Australia, I think. Hartnell and so Dixie Blossoms. Dixie Blossoms, the bigger firmer. Hartnell, the second biggest firmer in the race. Really interesting race, Paul. And did you enjoy doing this?
No, I didn't.
What's wrong with you?
It took me about an hour and a half to do this race.
Is that all?
Yeah, well, there were certain horses I could probably rule out fairly quickly, but the funny thing about Dixie Blossoms is if you took it on trust at last start, it's right in this race, but it doesn't seem to hold that sort of form, and I don't think it'll run to that number again. So, look, I'm not saying it's hopeless. Look, for me, probably horses like 50 Stars, Brutal, Fundamentalist, Hartnell, all those sorts of horses I think are a chance.
Do you have a bet at current prices in this race?
I haven't had a bet yet right now. So what price is 50 Stars?
50 Stars is, well, I've written down $6.50, but it's a bit longer than that.
That's a bit short.
That was a tab price at 9 o'clock.
It does seem short odds.
Yeah.
So 50 Stars, how short can you mark it?
How's it not $10 a field here?
Favourite.
Okay. Paul has 50 Stars favourite. All right.
Have you got a favourite of it?
Nightcap. The Nightcap, Glenn's best bet of the day, is the firmer in the race into 650 Fiesta.
See all the punters out there that follow a big last. They're like me, they love it.
Paul, can you play this race?
Look, I think there's a few sort of angles here, Mizzy backing distance and a few other things. Look, maybe Madame Rouge I think is probably well set up backing distance.
Any intel on the rider? He's the Mauritian magician from Hong Kong.
He's a very good rider there.
Right, but
his mother says he's a very good rider.
Joey Moreira is a very good rider there as well.
KT. How can anyone back KT? What is a KT? Sounds like a bloody...
I don't know. We'll see how he goes in some of his earlier rides.
Right.
But I mean, it's a horse that could interest me. Yeah.
Watch this space. Of course, Paul comes here representing Ratings to Win Access Software, which is the preeminent racing software in Australia, probably if not the world. I heartily endorse it. Couldn't be without it.
What do you mean you hardly endorse it?
Heartily endorse it.
Oh, heartily.
Yeah.
I thought you said I hardly endorse it. That's a negative into
Anyway, so there's an info pack at RacingRant.com where you can check out Ratings to Win. It is seriously the most comprehensive piece of software you'll ever come across. And don't forget at Racing Rant here, we've got this community where we show to our members 3 videos a week, along with sets for all Sydney Metro meetings, mounting yard for all those meetings. It's just $22 a week. It's free for the first couple of weeks. Come on board. Give it a lick, and I'm sure you'll find it to your satisfaction.
Come on board for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Doesn't cost you anything.
Doesn't cost you anything.
That's right.
Why wouldn't you get involved for 2 weeks? You'd be mad if you didn't.
Exactly. So just sign up on the site. That's a gold membership. $22 a week gets you all that content, and we hope you have a profitable day 1 of the championships.
See ya.
Thank you.